Adobe released Firefly video model this week, and it's actually quite impressive with a lot of control that you can do inside of the video. We can see some examples of like aerial footage of a majestic snow-capped mountain reflected in a calm lake, a flickering flame on a black background only, camera is steady and there are no objects in the video other than the flame, cloudy mist on a green screen background only, camera is steady and there are no objects in the video other than the mist. I think it's really cool that you can create really good green screen and like black background video with this. We've got a lion here. We've got like a giant whale. Really, really cool videos. In fact, let's jump in and play with it for a second. If we go to firefly.adobe.com, we can see we have an option for video at the top, and we've got text to video, image to video, translate video, and then coming soon, speech enhancer and text to avatar. But let's go ahead and do text to video here. We can play with the aspect ratio, widescreen or portrait, shot size. We can do extreme close-up shot, medium shot, long shot, extreme long shot, camera angle. We've got aerial shot, eye level, high angle, low angle, top down. We've got options for the motion like zoom in, zoom out, move left, move right, tilt up, tilt down, static, handheld. Let's do our typical wolf howling at the moon. And then I'll do a high angle shot let's do a low angle shot on this one, maybe with a slight zoom out, and let's generate it. All right, and here's what we get with our wolf howling at the moon. Low angle shot, zoom out. We see the moon and it zooms out with past the wolf, right under the wolf. I actually think it's a really cool shot because it kind of comes in under the wolf's chin a little bit. Definitely an angle you don't really see often when you want to get a wolf howling at the moon. Never really get the camera coming from underneath like that. Now let's try something totally different. Let's try drone footage flying over an African desert landscape with elephants. I'm going to switch this to an aerial shot, and then I'm just going to remove the motion here, and let's generate that. And that first generation took maybe about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, somewhere between 90 seconds and 2 minutes. And here's what we get from that. Definitely looks like a drone flying over an African desert. Even the camera movements, how the camera's sort of like jerky at the end there, really reminds me of like a real sort of drone shot. See how it kind of like pivots a little bit, like they're adjusting the camera. All right, I'm actually going to try to modify one of the prompts that they showed off in their page right here. I'm going to try a truck on a windy road that is driving towards the sunset, made of claymation. On the horizon, you can see a rocket taking off, leaving a trail of rainbow smoke. Let's see if we can do it. All right, here's what we got from that. We see the truck driving down the road, claymation. There's our rocket with the rainbow smoke. I mean, kind of nailed it. Let's test another one here where we give it a ton of detail. They have this prompt where they're doing a lion, but I want to change it to a different animal and see how it comes out. I'm going to change it from a lion to a wolf. So a majestic male wolf yawns while surveying his domain from a rocky outcrop at sunrise. Golden light illuminating his, I guess mane kind of works there as well. I'll just leave it. Shot with a Nikon D850, 600 millimeter, etc., etc. Let's go ahead and leave all the rest of the prompt that it had before and see how it does when we swap it to a wolf. And here's what we got out of that one. We got a wolf, and then it looks at the camera. The way it gets up and turns, I don't know, something a little funky there, but this is the worst it's gonna get. And for our last little test here, let's try the image to video module inside of Adobe Firefly here. I wanna try giving it this image of like a firefighter spraying water on a fire. Although this is an AI generated image, you can tell because it looks like the guy's wearing a bucket on his head. But I want to see how it performs with this image here and see if it can animate the fire and the water and that sort of stuff. So we'll go ahead and add a first frame here. We'll pull in this image, a man spraying a water hose on a fire. Let's just see what it does. And here's what we get from that. Actually fairly realistic looking water, especially right in the beginning here. And the fire, kind of looks like a explosion from a volcano or something, but it's still a pretty cool looking visual. And one thing that I do really appreciate about Adobe Firefly is that it is designed to be commercially safe. So when they trained it only on videos that they had licenses to and public domain video, so that if you're someone that is concerned with the ethics of how some of these video models were trained, or maybe some of the copyright implications of how some of these video models were trained, well, Adobe Firefly is probably the one you're going to want to use because you know the origin of the training material.